Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of TCG Talk, back today with another video. And in today's video, I wanted to go over my updated Viserai deck tech with you all. It's a deck I've been working on a decent amount, and with the recent Stubby Hammers ban, I wanted to kind of go over, what my current list looks like, because I know some people may stay on 5, may not stay on 5, may look at other Runeblade or other heroes in general. It's really just Runeblade when it comes to aggro, right? May really look at Katsu, Briar, Viserai, what have you. I think Viserai is a really solid pick right now, going into kind of this new meta, if you call it that. I think he can win against Prism. I think the matchup's pretty 50-50, and if you're super skilled, it might even be a little bit favored for Viserai. He's better into the Guardians, or he's better into Bravo specifically than like Fi was. It's winnable against Oldheim. It's not easy, but it's winnable. And then he's obviously can race with the aggro deck. So I think he's in a really good spot. I think with pretty much every matchup, he's either 50-50 or favored into, in my opinion. So definitely one of the top decks in the format. And this list specifically kind of goes against some of the bigger decks that are being represented in the format right now. The decks that I've been really having trouble with is obviously Icelander. Can give him trouble depending on who has tempo, as well as Wizard in general, really, honestly, is kind of been my biggest issue. But Jeremiah can give a little bit of issues if she's playing really, really tanky and really slow and trying to get big dragons out. But this is what I have so far. I have 54 cards in the main board, 27 attacks and 27 non-attacks. Obviously my main equipment suite and then the sideboard, and we'll kind of get into it. What I'm basically trying to do with most matchups is keep the main board the same and then side in usually 3 attacks and 3 non-attacks, 3 attacks, and maybe 3 defense reactions, what have you, depends on the matchup, right? But for the main board, we have Spellblade Assault, just really good 4 power card, creates minimum 3 rune chance, maybe more if you're on a Mordred Tide. Has that breakpoint for Mob Skies, pretty simple here. Storming Gloomveil, obvious one, right? Being able to creepers this into, or like a read the runes on the reaction step is really funny, but it gives a lot of different play lines and options in your deck that's really useful. Consuming Volition I have in the main board. Right now there's so much aggro out there and so many decks that want to keep their hand, and Consuming Volition forces people to block, right? I'm gonna force you to block. Like if you try to take 12 damage, even like a Bravo, if you try to take 5 to 10 damage in hopes of keeping a good attack to dominate, I'm gonna Consuming Volition at the end of my chain, and I'm gonna force you to block me. Meet and Greet's really good for that natural go again, or conditional go again, what have you. Also can create rune chance, and then Amplify the Arknight. Just one of the better attacks I think should always be in the main board. Most of the time, this is like a 1 for 6, right? With rune chance, and basically rune chance is basically like a 1 for 8 or a 2 for 7 or whatever have you, right? Just really, really useful, or a 0 for 9, pretty much, is the way I look at that card. And then I have 12 blues for attacks. Vexy Malice, really good way to end games. Meet and Greet, obviously, is a high value blue. They can create a rune chant on hit or go again if it lets the arcane hit. Shrilla Skullform, just a 2 for 5 blue, most 9 times out of 10, really nice. And then Spellblade Assault, obviously similar plus side as the regular. For the non-attacks, we have the full set of Mob Skies, like nothing much to say there. Mordred Tide's pretty obvious, right? Running 3 Revels, pretty obvious as well. One of the kind of weird ones is Sonata Arcanic. Some people are starting not to run the card. I like Sonata because I want 0 cost non-attack actions that I can creeper. And Sonata, honestly, is one of my main creepers targets, right? If I don't have natural go again in my hand, maybe I play, I don't know, something like a Meet and Greet, right? With no rune chance, and it doesn't have go again. I can then, creepers into Sonata, turning on this, or turning on the attack, non-attack, so turning on Rosetta, possibly gain my action point back, and gain another attack in hand, which is really nice. So that's why I have that. I have 3 Sifs. It's just a really good 3-block blue. And I have in a pinch used it. Like if you draw the dreaded 4 non-attack action hand with Viserai, this is really, really nice because, you basically play this card and then sift 2 cards back into your deck, drawing 2 cards. So it's like a 3-card cycle for free. So I have used that once or twice in a pinch when I drew like 4 non-attack actions and I really need to cycle my hand. Become the Arknight's pretty simple. And then I have yellow lead the charges. Some people run blues. I like the yellows because it's cost 1 or greater. So the only thing that it's, I'd really want to play this after a Moths guys anyway. I want to play this after an attack, right? Like I use this as a way to give an attack go again. The only attack it's not going to give go again in my deck is Swarming Gloomveil, which most time I play Swarming Gloomveil has go again anyway. So this allows me to have a little more flexibility with some of my attacks over here, basically to give them go again. And then, yeah, so it's 54 cards in the main board. My equipment, obviously, Skull Cap. I have Ether Ironweave in the main board. It has the most use cases, 9 times out of 10. Grasp the Arc Knight and Spellbound Creepers. And then we go ahead and have Rosetta Thorn, obviously. Then we have our sideboard. We're running Findel Spring Tunic. This is going in a lot of the matchups that are really grindy. Bravo, Oldheim, Icelander. This will go into... just any like the grindier matchups. If I know it's like a really controlly dash, really just depends. And then Vexing Coolhand and Crown are mainly for the Wizard matchup or Arcane, heavy Arcane matchups. But Crowns also can be used in the Oldheim matchup to help put cards back into our deck and try to help fight the fatigue. And then over here we have our sideboards. So like I said, we have 27 attacks and 27 non-attacks. When it comes to Fi, Briar, or even the Mirror, I will run more so Fi and Briar. I will run, or Katsu actually, sorry. I'll run Reek of Corruption. I'll put that in as my 30th attack. I like Red Reek because, again, similar to Consuming Volition, I'm going to make you block, right? Like as a Fi, if my dream turn is Mob Skies into Consuming Volition, right? Dealing 1 Arcane. If they don't block the Arcane and Consuming hits, then they're going to have to discard a card. And the Mob Skies, if they let that hit, it's going to make Rune Chance. And then you come in with a Reek at the end of the chain. Basically, since they already create an aura, if it hits, they are forced to discard. So they have to block out 2 4-power attacks and block out 1 instance of Arcane just to not discard a card, which is pretty nuts. I really like playing this in basically any deck that doesn't want to block. I'm playing Reek. Runic Reclamation is mainly for Prism, 9 times out of 10. I have it in there as a really tall attack also for Bravo for Oldheim matchups. Erase Face is really good in any deck that wants to fuse. I am going to use it against basically. It's really good against Fi if you want to use it against him. It's really good against the Mirror, obviously. And then it can even be used in the Bravo matchup to prevent him from making or for his surges to be useful, stuff like that. Read the Runes comes in like more of the mid-rangey matchups. I'll put this in against Guardians, against Prism, against Jeremiah, and anybody that's like not straight racing. When it comes to my other, like I have 27 non-attacks. When it comes to like Fi and Katsu and even Briar, most of the time I'll put in 3 Sync Blows just to have like really good value blocking on some of their key attacks. Especially Briar. Really nice to have that 4 Breakpoint and Viserai. Runeblight Incantations mainly for the Guardian matchups, as well as maybe Icelander, depending. And then Shrill of Skullform is for the Guardian as well. Basically, most of my tech is for Aggro and Guardian, and a little bit of Prism with these 2 right here, right? But mainly it's for Aggro and Guardian because I see a lot of the meta is going to be Prism, Guardian, Aggro. So really all my sideboard was tech to fight those. Yeah, that's the basis of the deck. Pretty simple, right? Like really easy to follow. 27 attacks, 27 non-attacks. The sideboard is mainly tech for what I see the meta being. Kind of key cards I don't have in this deck. I don't have Rune Flash, which like is like a 50-50 with some people. I just don't think it's as useful anymore without Scalata turns. I don't have Rattlebones in the deck. I know that's a big thing with some people. The card, like to be frank, the card sucks early game. It's so bad. It's really good late game. And I could see maybe getting rid of the 2 Runeblood Incantations and playing like 2 Rattlebones and then put those in against like fatigue matchups. That could be a good thing to do and something you could think about in the future. But I'm not running Rattlebones. And then that's pretty much most of like the key cards that I'm not running that other people are running for the most part. But yeah, this is a list right now. Overall, I'm really happy with it. It's in a good spot. And I think Viserai is a hero if you're looking to play somebody who's in a really good spot because he's either even or favored in most every matchup. So if you're looking to pick up a deck, definitely pick this one up. I think it'll be really useful. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this. If you did, let me know. Let me know your thoughts on the deck. Really would enjoy hearing it. Agree or disagree, totally fine. Doesn't matter. And yeah, hopefully all games are going good. Let me know how y'all are doing. Join the Discord down below if you want to. I'd really love to see you in there, and we'll see y'all next time with TCG Talk. Thank y'all so much.